Brought to you by DK Audio.
DK Audio presents the classical music book, Big Ideas Simply Explained, by DK, read by Peter Forbes. Foreword. Music has a certain magic. It can transport us to a different world, drive us to dance, or remind us of lost loved ones. A single chord can reduce us to tears. Far from being an exclusive elite preserve, the kind of music that provided people in the Western world with pleasure and inspiration for most of the past 1,000 years, and now commonly known as classical music, is still delighting listeners today. It toys with our emotions in our favourite films. Its symphonic swells add drama to the action of computer games, and it hides in the structure and melodies of everyday pop songs. Its magic is of a very special sort, one that has grown and evolved over the centuries, shaped by politics, geography, religion, and the particular genius of a multitude of great composers. Sometimes it's enough just to listen and let the music wash over and through you, without asking why or when or how this piece originated. However, the classical musical canon can seem intimidatingly vast, encompassing many different styles and genres. For example, the early music of the medieval church, plain song and chant, is a sonic world away from the waterfalls of sound created by the 19th century symphony orchestras employed by romantic composers such as Tchaikovsky and Brahms, or the atonal experimentation of Schoenberg in the early 20th century. At times, exploring new sound worlds can be unfamiliar or even a little uncomfortable, as the composer may have intended. With the classical music book, you will discover the context of the great musical works of the last 1,000 years. Understanding who the composers were and why they were writing can be a revelation and can add a new layer of enjoyment and insight to your listening. A familiar piece such as Vivaldi's Four Seasons takes on a whole new resonance when you learn that Vivaldi demonstrated the true potential of the concerto form for the first time, and that his reputation spread from Italy to Germany, where he inspired a young organist called Johann Sebastian Bach. You may know that Beethoven was deaf later in life, but learning which of his works he composed and yet never actually heard adds a poignancy and an increased sense of wonder to the listening experience. Realizing that Mozart was effectively an 18th century pop star might convince you to give the Marriage of Figaro another try. Power, patronage, and censorship have each played a part in the genesis of some of the best-loved pieces of music. As you will discover, the real-life drama and scandals often kept pace with the musical dramatics on the stage and in the score. These, then, are the worlds that the book you are listening to invites you to explore. It will be an invaluable companion as it takes you on a journey through the different periods of musical history, deepening your understanding and appreciation of some of classical music's greatest works. It will delight those of you who already love classical music but may have never, until now, got to grips with the component elements of musical vocabulary and theory. And best of all, it will, I hope, encourage endless hours of new listening. Classical music, like all music, has passion at its heart. It's why the great works of the past have endured for centuries, why contemporary composers still strive to match and challenge that beauty, and why millions of us love to play, listen, and be transported by it today. There is so much wonderful, passionate music out there. Let this book open your eyes and your ears to it. Katie Derham. Introduction. A vital part of human culture, at least since Neolithic times, music has been a feature of every civilization, as cave paintings, frescoes, and archaeology show. What is loosely referred to as classical music is the music of Western civilization as it evolved from medieval times to the present day. In its broadest sense, it covers a wide spectrum of music, and not just the orchestral or piano music that some people imagine. This book explores how classical music developed as an essential part of Europe.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?